Sun salutations are an intrinsic part of any flow or vinyasa style yoga practice. However, many beginners are frustrated by their difficulty. This is a highly modified version of sun salutation that you can try if you find the other sun salutations on this DVD to be too strenuous at this time. For this variation, you need a chair. Place your chair on your yoga mat so that it won't slide. I'll give you a moment to set that up. Stand 6 to 8 inches in front of the chair, facing it. Look down and position your feet hip-width apart, with the outer feet parallel with one another. Join your palms at your chest in Namaste or prayer position. Opening the core of your chest towards your hands, pause for a moment to tune into your breathing. Mouth is closed. Breath is rhythmic and steady, represented by an ocean sound gently flowing from the base of your throat. Now, breathing in, extend your arms overhead, hands shoulder-width apart. And breathing out, hinge from the hips as you bend forward, holding the sides of your chair's seat. Remember to coordinate movement with breath as you inhale and open your chest. Breathing out, bend your elbows, curl over, and rest your head on the chair. Bend your knees if your lower back or the backs of your legs are too uncomfortable. This is standing forward bend. Breathe steadily and relax. Bend your knees and breathing in, straighten your elbows, lifting your chest. And breathing out, step your right foot back a couple of feet into a lunge. Your front foot should be flat on the floor. Anchoring your feet and expanding your chest, breathe in and sweep your side ribs forward and up between your arms to create a gentle back bend, a variation of upward facing dog pose. Breathe steadily and gaze forward. Breathe in, stepping your left foot beside the right. Position your feet hip-width apart, heels on the floor. If you feel too far away from the chair, just step forward to a comfortable position. Now, elbows straight. Inhale, press the chair. Exhale, pushing your hips back over your heels, positioning your head between your arms and stretching your body long. Breathe steadily. Exhalation as long as inhalation, mouth closed. Now breathe in, stepping your right foot forward 6 to 8 inches from the chair, and breathe out into a lunge. Breathe in, open your chest, and move your ribs toward the back of the chair into upward facing dog pose. Step your left foot forward beside the right. Again, feet parallel and hip-width apart. Inhale, bend your elbows. Exhale, curl over to rest your head on the chair, bending your knees if you wish. Breathe in, straighten your elbows, lifting your chest, and extend your arms overhead, standing upright. Exhale, bring your palms together at your chest in prayer position. Mountain pose. Check your alignment. Notice your breathing. We'll repeat it. Breathe in, raise your arms overhead. Breathing out, fold from the hips. Hold the sides of your chair. Bend your elbows and rest your head. Relaxed breathing. Now straighten your elbows again as you breathe in to expand your chest, letting your heart radiate forward. Bend your knees deeply. On your next breath in, step your left foot back, bending the right knee to a lunge, foot flat on the floor. Inhale, open your chest, sweeping your chest forward and up. And make sure that you exhale completely after that movement. Step your right foot beside your left. Bend your knees deeply and press the chair, pushing the hips back over the feet with your knees bent. If this seems easy, straighten your knees, keeping your back flat, and even in this flat back position, the chest radiates toward the chair. This is a variation of downward facing dog pose. Now bend your knees and on a breath in, step your left foot forward, exhale into the lunge. Breathing in, open the chest. Exhale, bring it forward and up to a little back bend, upward dog pose. Step forward, placing your feet parallel and hip width apart again, 6 to 8 inches in front of the chair. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathing out, bend your elbows, curl over to rest your head on the chair. Re-straighten your elbows, opening your heart forward. Breathe in, sweep the arms forward, standing upright. Breathe out, bringing the palms together in Namaste. Last time, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bend forward, hold the chair, and relax into your hanging forward bend. Head resting on the chair, knees bent if necessary. Relaxed breathing. Breathe in, straighten your elbows. Spread your chest wide, open it from your core. Now bend your knees, and as you inhale, step your right foot back, exhaling into the lunge. Breathe in, sweep your chest forward and up, and breathing out, roll your shoulders away from your ears to refine the back bend. Make space for exhalation. Bend your knees and push your hands into the chair as you step your left foot back beside the right, and with deeply bent knees, send your hips back over your heels, head between the arms, long, soft neck, shoulder blades towards the hips. Keep your back flat, straighten your knees if possible, and keep your breath steady. Bend your knees as you inhale and step your right foot forward, exhale into the lunge. Breathing in, sweep the chest forward and up. Breathing out, roll your shoulders away from your ears. Step forward with your left foot, aligning your feet as before. Relax the elbows and with a nice, gentle out-breath, relax into standing forward bend. Inhale, straighten your elbows and lift your chest. Sweep your arms forward and stand upright in mountain pose. Bring your hands together at the chest. For this standing asana flow, you may need a block. Stand in mountain pose at the end of your mat. Take a block and step your feet wide, placing the block behind your right foot. Extend your arms to shoulder height, outer feet parallel. Ideally, your ankles are in line with your wrists, but shorten your stance if you can't straighten your knees or they hurt. Now hold your hips and focus on your breathing. Mouth closed. Listen for the distinctive ocean sound of your breath in the base of the throat that will calm and steady you as you move through this vinyasa or flow practice. Now pivot your right heel, turning your right leg out and planting the foot on the floor with toes and kneecap facing the end of the mat. Turn your left leg and hips slightly to the right, anchoring your outer left foot to the mat. Straighten your knees and open your chest. Breathe in, move your right hip away from the waist, tipping your torso over your right leg. Keeping your back leg straight, exhale, bending your right knee over your ankle. Rest your right forearm on top of the knee with straight fingers. Ideally, you have a right angle bend in the leg. You can adjust your stance to facilitate that. Breathe in, grounding your outer back foot firmly as you lift your chest. Breathe out, gently tuck your tail and pull your left side ribs back, gazing straight ahead. Reach to the ceiling with your left arm. Side angle pose. Steady breathing, balancing exhalations with inhalations. Hold your left hip, turn toward the floor, and putting your block by your outer right foot, place your hand on the block. Breathe in, push your right hip to the left, and straighten the right knee. Breathe out into triangle pose. If you can't straighten your knee, make your block taller. With your torso over your right leg, breathe in, ground your feet, and lift your chest. Breathe out, pull your left ribs back, gazing straight ahead, and extend your left arm up, palm forward. Hold your block as you inhale and stand. Pivot on your left heel, turning your foot to the left. The right leg and hips turn slightly in. Place your block to the outside of the left foot, then stand and hold your hips. Straight knees, open chest. Breathe in as you slide your outer left hip away from the waist to tip your torso over your left knee. Breathe out, bend your left knee 90 degrees, knee over ankle, forearm on knee with fingers straight. Adjust your stance if necessary. Keeping your back leg straight and outer back foot grounded, inhale, raising your chest. Exhale, pull your right ribs back and gently tuck your tail. Extend your right arm up and gaze straight forward. Side angle pose. Breathe in, your body expands. Breathe out, refine technique. Ribs back, outer back foot grounded. Every movement following breath. Hold your right hip as you turn toward the floor, placing your left hand on the block. Breathe in, pushing the outer left hip away from the waist to straighten your left knee, and breathing out, pull your right ribs back, gently tucking your tailbone and staring straight ahead. Extend your right arm to the ceiling. Triangle pose. Release the block as you inhale and stand up. Lower your arms as you breathe out and step your feet hip-width apart. Rest your hands in the crooks of your elbows. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, standing forward bend. Bend your knees if your lower back hurts. Use this resting pose to slow your breath down, restoring a steady, patient rhythm. Breathe in as you roll back up to stand in mountain pose. Step your feet wide again, arms at shoulder height, and check your alignment. Outer feet parallel, ankles below wrists. Hold your hips. Pivot the right heel, turning your leg to the right. Turn the left leg in slightly. And using your hands, rotate your hips to the right, so that navel, kneecap, and toes all face the end of the mat. Keep your back leg straight and strongly root the outer back foot. Now bring your hands to your ribs. Inhale, open the chest toward the chin, and exhaling, push your side ribs slightly forward, squeezing your elbows in. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, bend your knee. Knee over ankle, 90 degrees. Back knee is straight, foot grounded. Warrior pose 1. Steady breathing, paying attention to your out-breaths. Keep them strong. Keep your knee bent and breathe in. Turn your torso to the left, turning the left thigh out and sweeping your arms wide so your hands are over your feet at shoulder height. Warrior Pose 2. Check the alignment of your right leg, knee over ankle, knee facing in the same direction as the toes, and left hip level with the right. Gaze straight forward. Inhale, straighten your right knee, hold your hips, and turn to the left. Left leg turns out, right leg in, and revolve your hips completely to the left. Navel, kneecap, toes facing the end of the mat. Back leg is straight, outer back foot grounded. Hold your side ribs and breathe in, opening and lifting the chest toward the chin. Breathe out. Push your side ribs forward an inch or two, especially the right side, and squeeze your elbows. Inhale, bend your left knee 90 degrees. Glance down to check your alignment. Knee over ankle, navel, knee, toes face the end of the mat. Plant your outer back foot. Warrior 1. Inhale, turning fully to the right. Turn your right thigh out and sweep your arms to shoulder height over the feet. Warrior Pose 2. Check your alignment. Make adjustments. Hips level, gentle tuck, open heart, gaze straight ahead, smooth, confident out-breaths. Inhale, straighten your left knee. Exhale, lower your arms and step to mountain pose. Hands in the crooks of the elbows, breathe in, round over. Breathing out, relaxing to standing forward bend, bending your knees if your back hurts. Slow down your breathing. Your heart is inverted, which is also restful to the body. This passive pose helps to maintain a calm, steady core. Just rest. Breathe gently. True power comes by learning to balance effort and surrender. Inhale, roll up to mountain pose. Exhale, step the feet wide. Outer feet parallel. Lace your fingers together behind your back with your palms facing each other. Keeping your elbows slightly bent, inhale and lift the chest, pulling your arms back and up behind you. Keep your head upright. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips and down, bringing your arms over your back toward the floor. Expanded leg forward bend. Don't try to put your head on the floor, just hang. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in, lift your chest, looking forward and stand up. Exhale, take your block and put it in front of your right foot. Pivot your right leg out, left leg in, and line your heels up with each other, rooting your outer back heel. Hold your hips and rotate them so the navel, kneecap, and toes all face the end of the mat. Make sure your back heel stays down. Breathe in, pull your right hip back. Breathe out, hinging from your hips, elongate your torso over your right leg. Place your block by your inside foot, left hand on the block, making it taller if necessary. Pause here, calm your breathing. Flat back, outer back foot grounded, right big toe too. Breathe in, press down with the left hand and lift the chest, gazing at the floor. Breathe out, pull your right ribs up and back to turn your torso to the right. Steady breathing. Feet are grounded. Revolve triangle pose. Hold your block as you inhale and stand, turning your feet to the left. Heels line up with each other and turn your hips so navel, knee, and toes face the end of the mat. Place the block by your inner left foot, then stand and hold your hips. Breathing in, pull your left hip back, anchoring your outer back foot and left big toe. Breathing out, extend your torso over your left leg, placing your right hand on top of the block. Steady your stance. Inhale, press down with the right arm to lift the chest, gazing at the floor. Exhale, pulling your left ribs up and back to bring your left shoulder above the right. Remember, back heel anchored. Revolve triangle pose. Now bend your left knee as you breathe in. Move your block away and place your hands on the floor, shoulder width apart. Step to downward facing dog pose. Come up onto the balls of your feet and deeply bend the knees. Inhale, spread your fingers and firmly root your hands, pressing the hands into the floor. Push your hips back over your feet, positioning your head between your upper arms. Continue pushing your hips back. Exhale, stretching the heels toward the floor. Straighten your knees as much as you can without losing the backward direction of the stretch. Slow, steady, ocean sound. Out breath equal to in breath. Keep stretching. Breathe in, come down to your knees. Swing your feet to one side and sit behind them, bringing your legs to simple cross-legged position. Lie face down on your mat, extending your right arm out in front of you, and roll onto your right side, placing your left hand on the floor in front of your chest. Bend your elbow, resting your head on your hand, and look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, a straight line from right elbow to ankle. Once you've checked your alignment, bring your head back onto the same line as the rest of your body. Steady your breathing. Flex your toes, pressing the inner big toe joints together, and lengthen your tailbone away from your waist, curling it slightly forward toward the front hips, while at the same time drawing your uppermost inner thigh slightly back into the space behind you. These two movements basically cancel each other out, but it stabilizes your hips, and you may feel the action engaging muscles deep in your abdomen. This inner firmness stabilizes your lower back as well, allowing you to now bring your left arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. This delicate balance, Vishnu's couch, can disturb your breathing, making it tentative, nervous. Steady yourself with the gentle balance of the tailbone and inner thighs coming together as though pulled together by magnets, as well as a steady out-breath. Slide your right arm behind your head, turning your head to the left, gazing at your hand. Correct your position if you've rolled back onto your buttocks. The balance in this pose is on the round bone of your outer hip. Again, stabilize your pose with your exhalation. Breathe in as you release and rolling to the other side. Stretch your left arm forward. Bend the elbow, resting your head on your hand. Look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, straight line from elbow to ankle. Keep your right hand on the floor until you establish your balance, and make this as delicate a balance as possible. Again, lengthen the tailbone away from the waist, curling it gently forward. Inner thighs gently back, forming a firm base that stabilizes your hips and lower spine. Bring your right arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. Again, notice how instability makes your breathing nervous. Find your inner calm with a steady out-breath. Slide your hand behind your head, turning your head to the right and gazing at your fingers. Don't try to make this pose easy. Learn to balance as though on a tightrope. Inhale, turn toward the floor, placing your hands palms down by your ribs, and turn your toes under. Bring your elbows in, and again, strong action. Tailbone away from the waist, curling forward, inner thighs back to stabilize your core, this time flattening the back. Curl your collarbones up. Check, flat back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, push strongly down with your hands and feet, pushing your elbows forward, straightening your arms, and lifting your torso straight and solid as a stick to plank pose. Steady breathing. Push to downward facing dog pose. Come back to plank pose. Turning your right leg in, press your outer right foot into the floor and try to root the big toe joint as well. Come forward until your shoulder is almost over your wrist, so your arm is angled slightly forward. Bring your left hand to your hip, and for the moment, keep your left toes on the floor. Adjust the distance between your hand and foot so that your hips are no higher than your shoulders. In fact, as you now inhale and press down with your right hand, you'll lift your chest higher than your hips. Again, press down with your right hand and big toe, chest lifts, tailbone forward, inner thighs back, stable spine. Extend your left arm up to the ceiling, palm forward, gazing straight ahead. Steady your breathing. Feel your core support. Now bring your left leg alongside your right. Steady breathing. Turning your head slowly, gaze at your left hand. Concentrate. Come smoothly out of your pose. Inhale, release. Exhale to plank pose, turning to the left. Press the outer left foot into the floor and try to ground the big toe joint. Keeping your right foot on the floor for the moment, right hand on your hip, measure your stance. Enough distance between your hand and foot that your chest will be higher than your hips. Inhale, press strongly down with your hand, lift your chest. Exhale, tailbone forward, inner thighs back. Strongly ground your left arm and foot, extending your right arm to the ceiling, gazing straight ahead. Now bring your right leg alongside your left. Stable back. Inhale, begin to turn your head, gazing up at your hand. Concentrate. Inhale, release, exhale, back to plank pose. Come down to your knees, swing your feet to the side, and lie down on your back with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Join your hands behind your head, widen your shoulder blades, and bring your elbows to the floor. Press your head ever so slightly against your hands. Don't overdo it. You don't want to compress your neck or have your chin jut up. Imagine for a moment lines of movement running from your side ribs, down, crossing at your navel, and anchoring deep in the inner hips. Pinning both your sit bones and lower back to the floor. Keeping your upper body in its fixed position, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide, head pressed gently back, Inhale, lift the chest to pull your upper body off the floor. Exhale, pull your navel to your spine, and as though someone is pulling your side ribs, rise a little higher. Release, coming all the way to the floor, and relax for a moment. Again, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide. Feel as though strings are attached to your side ribs. Inhale, chest rises, pulling you off the floor. Exhale, side ribs pull you up, navel pressing into the backbone. Don't use your arms. Can you pull one more set of ribs off the floor using your side ribs? Down you come to rest. Now turn onto your side and sit up. Place your feet on the floor about hip-width apart in front of you, and hold the backs of your knees. Lengthen your spine from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. Move your front hips away from your navel to pull your lower back toward the front body. Shifting your weight back as little as possible, take your feet off the floor. Rolling your front hip bones down to the floor, raise your feet to the level of your knees, pushing your navel towards your legs. A surge of energy like a laser from the pelvic floor to the heart. Inhale, straighten your knees as much as you can. Exhale, push the navel towards the legs. If you lose this core lift, bend your knees again slightly. Now breathe in and slowly let go of your knees. Exhale, extend your arms straight forward, palms face each other. One good breath. Breathe in, chest open and lifting. Breathe out, navel pushing towards the legs. Bend your knees, feet to the floor. Join your hands behind your head, elbows wide, and gently round your back. Navel hugging the backbone. Heart open, elbows wide. Slowly lower yourself, breath by breath. Breathe in, you pause. Breathe out, your navel pushes you a little lower until your shoulders are as close to knee level as possible. From that position, inhale, raise your feet to knee level. Exhale, straighten your feet to eye level. Steady breathing, one strong breath. Inhale, feet to the floor. Exhale, navel to legs. Release your arms and swing your feet to the side, coming up to a simple squat. Place your feet hip-width apart. Arms between your legs, palms down. Come up onto the balls of your toes, hips resting on the heels if possible. Bring your arms between your legs, palms down on the floor. Now breathe in, pulling your inner thighs up to the side ribs and your knees to your shoulders. Breathe out, suck your navel into your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Once again, inhale, pulling your inner thighs to your side ribs and knees to shoulders. Exhale, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back, hips at knee level, no higher. Come down to rest, knees on the floor, or even child pose. Let's do that again. Come up onto the balls of your toes, arms between your legs, palms down. Breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your ribs, knees to shoulders. Stare at the floor. Breathe out, suck your navel to your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to the level of the knees, no higher. Breathe in, inner thighs up, raise your arms to shoulder height, extending them forward. Breathe out, suck the navel into your backbone, rounding your back. Release, knees to the floor or child pose. Onto your toes again, arms between your legs. Drop your shoulders, bringing one upper arm and then the other under your upper shins. Place your hands mat-width apart, elbows no wider than your hands, and press your arms into the shins to lift your chest and shoulders up again. Don't lean over, and again, breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your side ribs. Breathe out, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Don't lean over. Keep your chest lifting, gaze forward. Breathe in, push off from your feet and push your elbows forward, scooping your chest up, bringing it forward. Exhale, navel to backbone. Breathe in, straightening your elbows. They're over your fingers now as your navel sucks into your back. Now pull your feet up into your hips. You're in Bakasana, crane pose. Elbows straight, chest forward and up, steady breathing. Breathe in, bend your elbows, feet back on the floor. Rest on your knees and come to child pose. Relaxation pose. Lie on your back with your legs outstretched and relaxed. Your arms 6 to 8 inches away from the sides of your body, and your head on the floor or a folded blanket if you wish. If your lower back is uncomfortable, roll up a blanket underneath your knees. Now close your eyes and turn your attention once more to your breathing. Now feeling your breath, a gentle inner rhythm. It's soothing, like rain on the roof, coaxing your body to relax. Feel your whole body sink into the floor. Imagine that you're lying on the beach in wet sand, and the heaviest parts of you sink, leaving deep impressions like footprints. The back of the skull heavy, sinking into soft sand. The shoulders heavy, sink. The floor seems soft behind your shoulders. Let your lower back ribs relax. Not pressing them down, but letting them hang like garlands. Your belly organs sink back, hips too, the backs of your legs, your calves. Leave deep impressions in the wet sand, and your heels and the backs of your hands, heavy, falling. Your whole front body sinks into the back body. Your face into the back brain. Soothing, rhythmic breath. Coaxing you to release more. Habitual tensions can creep back in unnoticed. Take your attention to a common place where you know you hold tension. Back of the neck perhaps, lower back, heart. Let them drop. And as your body falls, becoming heavy, the inner body, your subtle body, is free, it's light, and radiates through your skin like a gentle mist. Everything comes to this, surrendering the form, the flesh and bone body, and freeing the subtle body. Remain aware of a sense of inner space. Look around inside your body, and with that inner awareness, slowly begin to reopen your eyes.